Hey guys, back to another YouTube video. Today it's gonna be a assembly video. Now it's been a while since I've done a video like this, and I figured since I'm working on this knife as we speak, I figured I'll do this video. And this is putting together a simple camp knife. Now, those who may know, one of my favorite knives to collect is camp knives of all kinds, and it's one of my favorite knives to collect. And I do sell them as well. And of course, I fix them up as well. I can replace the bottle openers. I can replace the can openers, the blades, the saws. It's one of my favorite parts about my business. It's just something so satisfying of putting your knife together and seeing what it looked like before, which this knife wasn't in that bad a shape when I got it. It was rusted a little bit, but it wasn't in the worst shape. I've seen worse. But anyway, and I fully cleaned up the parts, repolished them, and this is a nice Rogers stainless inox knife made in Sheffield, England. Beautiful knife. All I really did do was I cleaned up all the parts, repolished the blades and the two tools, and I cleaned up the saw. So today it's just going to be a simple video of putting this together. So first thing I'll start with is the grip. And of course you put the plate on the grip and it's got these little hooks that are on it. And you always make sure to line those up perfectly with the holes. Just like so. And there you go. And then, of course, you start your pins, and you put one pin in. Then you take the blade, and you put the blade in. Other way. And then, of course, you take the springs, and you put the spring in. And then you take the other pin, and you put that one in to hold it in place. There we go. And then, of course, the other pin to hold the final piece of the spring in place. There we go. Then you got the first part of the knife complete. And then next thing you do is you add the washer or the plate in the middle. So that way it helps hold the spring in place and the two tools don't collide with each other. And believe me, y'all, I just make this look easy because I've done this a bunch of times. When I first started doing this, I cannot tell you how many times I got frustrated when parts didn't go together. But it's all a matter of time, patience, and learning how to do it. So there you go. You got the washer on it. And now you've got a complete pocket knife. There you go. All right. Next is to add the other spring for the two tools. Then you add the can opener. Spring and can opener. There you go. And then, of course, you add the bottle opener. There you go. And then you add the other washer. I mean, plate. Kind of the same thing when you think about it. Then you add that on. There you go. Now you got the plate on. Now you got a complete, almost halfway done pocket knife. One piece. There's two. And you can open it back up. All right, next thing to do is add the final spring. There we go. Come on. Of course, the last one's always a bit tougher. There you go. Now we got a folding saw. And then you put the last the last plate on the last grip, just like so. Then you add the last grip to the knife. And there you go. You got a fully assembled camp knife with all tools functioning. Just like that. And you can open them all back up. Just to make sure to do a test fit to make sure, because when I say you're putting these knives together, make sure to do a test fit before you actually peen these together, so that way you know that everything fits perfectly, because believe me, I do this kind of step 2 or 3 times to make sure everything fits perfectly together. There's the blade. There's the can opener. There's the bottle opener. And then the folding saw. And of course, I'll cut these pins down and peen them by hand. But that goes to show, it's very satisfying, you put something like this together. But like I said, when you're doing this the first time, you'll get frustrated when things don't go together perfect. But once you get the hang of it, and yada yada, and believe me, if you ever want me to do this kind of thing to your knife, happily send it to me, and I'll give you an estimate of how much it will cost. And that's it. Guess I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've learned how to put one of these together. And I did do a video similar to this a couple months back. It was how to put together some Barlows, because a Barlow is the most simplest knife to put together. And like I said, the best way to restore these camp knives is to fully take them apart to the bare metal and then clean each individual piece and then reassemble it. That's how it opens so smoothly. Because people wondering when you buy old camp knives like this, why are they so stiff on the inside? And it's not because they weren't well oiled. It's because there's so much gunk and stuff that it stiffs up the springs and there's no room for the spring to function. That's why it's the best way to take every individual part in one of these and clean it to the bare metal, polish it, and reassemble it, and then it opens smoothly. That's really the only reason to make a knife like this so smoothly functioning, because a lot of people complain about these knives not very easy to open because they tear their fingernails. My buddy Edward, JJ Jinx, complains about that. And the reason for that is when a knife like this is not either properly oiled or properly cleaned, that's the result you get, a knife like that is so stiff, because these knives aren't meant to be that stiff. They're meant to actually function smoothly. That's what they're designed for. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and like I said, I hope you've learned a few things, and this knife will be put for sale once I'm done with it. It'll be on my eBay page, and I will link that down in the description. And again, if you want to send me something for free or want me to work on something for you, hit me up in the comments, and I'll give you an estimate of how much it will cost. And I guess, as always, stay sharp.